Welcome to the County Connection show for March 2017. I'm your host, Scott Vargo. I'm joined by all three of your county commissioners, Thomas Davidson, Dan Gibbs, and Karn Stiegelmeyer. So we're going to start off by talking about the Summit County Resource Allocation Park and a recent ordinance that was passed by the county and some of the other local towns. So Karn, you want to kick that off?
Sure. This has been a long process, and many of you have participated in conversations about this. And so we did go through the process of reaching out to the public and getting a lot of input. A lot of that input was really around recycling, but our designated disposal site ordinance is really about our whole scrap, Summit County Resource Allocation Park, and all the programs that we have going on there. The most important is the actual landfill site and the environmental protections that we have in place, the compliancy measures that we have in place to make sure that we're not polluting water like many poorly run landfills do. And so in order to make that sustainable over the long run and even being able to shut it down, we went through the process of getting towns on board with this hauler requirement to use our facility. And this makes us sustainable budget-wise into the future and allows us to continue all the amazing programs that we have going on up there. Mm-hmm. And that includes composting and household hazardous waste and
recycling.
Well, and the recycling. It seems like there's a few other programs that we have going on. So moving forward, that will take place starting beginning of April. And then we have our Zero Waste Task Force getting back together. And that includes the county, town representatives, some ski area representatives, restaurant association, the haulers, and others. And they are going to get together and powwow to figure out the next conundrum, which is we're funding all of our scrap operations on garbage fees, and that is what supports our recycling operation, and we need to figure out a way to do that differently, because it doesn't make sense to try to reduce garbage and fund all these projects with reduced funds because we're trying to reduce garbage. Mm-hmm. So that conundrum is going to be taken up again with our Zero Waste Task Force.
Great. Other comments? You guys want to talk about a little bit about what other jurisdictions supported the ordinance?
Sure, we had the town of Breckenridge, town of Frisco, and the town of Dillon, so thank you so much. Town of Silverthorne decided not to participate in the ordinance, but we'll continue to work with them on recycling and needs that they have. So a huge thank you, I'd say, to definitely Frisco, Breckenridge, and Dillon.
Yeah. And the town of Blue River asked to sort of sit out the initial round of discussions, but they recently invited me to come and chat with them a little bit about the ordinance, and I think they're going to at least entertain the ordinance in an upcoming meeting. I don't know if they'll support or not at that point, but at least they're taking a look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one other item that people in Silverthorne are very interested in, they saw the waste management recycling facility go away, and so we're working, now that we do have some sustainable funding, we're working on where can we find a place where we can provide recycling at that end of the county. Dillon has had a small facility, but it's not a place where they can take on all those materials and the size that we really need, so we'll be working on that.
Yep, working with the town of Dillon to see what we can do at the small site or other locations that they may have control of as well. Great. All right, good. Let's see, we'll move on to our second topic, which is Summit Cove, not too far away actually from the landfill. Summit Cove and the Loop project. So we've done some...
That was a good segue, Scott.
It just happened that way, I didn't mean it. So that's, again, a project that started a couple of years ago related to some road improvements. So Thomas, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so this was a couple of years back that we took a look at the road system in Summit Cove with regards to improving access and safety for pedestrians, recreationalists, And in addition to that, we identified that we had a number of road improvements that we needed to make as well. So we're now into year 2. This upcoming summer will be year 3 of implementation. So one of the really exciting things that happened as part of this was Kate Berg within the County Planning Department worked hard on an application for a grant for improving access around Summit Cove Elementary. And we were awarded $350,000, so that's nothing to sneeze at. And this summer, that will be a big part of what we're working on is improvements there around Summit Cove Elementary and then back to where we intersect with Whispering Pines Ranch Road. So that's the segment that we're working on this summer. Yeah, it's overall been well received by the community. We've got a meeting coming up on March 22nd at Summit Cove Elementary to talk again with the neighborhood about the project and what we're doing this summer. So that's Wednesday, March 22nd. Summit Cove Elementary at 6 o'clock, I think.
4:30 to 6:30.
4:30, sorry. I'm confusing it with another meeting at 6, but 4:30. And encourage the neighborhood to turn out again.
Yep, we want everybody to understand what's happening, specifically with the Safe Routes to School component of the project. That has a lot of involvement with how do kids get dropped off in the morning, how do kids get across the street and get into the school property and so forth. So we're trying to make some significant improvements there. And so again, Safe Routes to School grant, huge help to the project to be able to make that a significant improvement in terms of safety at the school front.
Great partnership with the school districts. Thank you, school board. Thank you, school staff.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so again, March 22nd, 4:30 to 6:30, Summit Cove Elementary. And there is a fair amount of information on the county's website about the Summit Cove Loop project. You can just go to the search bar, type in Summit Cove Loop project. I know this because I just did it 5 minutes ago to figure out when and where the meeting was.
Thank God
it works
you did.
fantastic. All right, any other comments on the Cove Loop? All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to talk about healthcare and Commissioner Gibbs' trip with National Association of Counties to Washington, D.C.